Yeah, hello and welcome to this update video about Chainlink. Chainlink now at around $15, slightly below it, and it's also in its ongoing correction. It has basically done also what we forecasted on this channel. People could prepare for it, hopefully. And yeah, of course, it did seem very unrealistic that we really would drop below this trend line here before, but in the end we've done it, and we are moving further here towards my target area, which is sitting still here between around $6 and $11.50. Now, what is so relevant here on this chart, and just for everybody who's new, we've been talking about this impulse to the upside, 1 2 3 4 5 anyway, that was completed, or a new high here at around $53. Then we've moved down here in an ABC correction. We did talk about that previous low here, which really was a confirmation that we are on its way, that Chainlink is on its way to roll over here. We had a bit of a run up here. That was a lower high, head and shoulders, drop below the ascending trend line. And now we are back at a key support, basically that previous low, but it's not just a previous low, it's so relevant because this is the low of the wave A. And that's really why I like the Elliott wave method, even though it's not perfect, of course, nothing is perfect, but if you don't use the Elliott wave analysis, you would not understand the meaning of this low of this wave A, because this is basically a make or break point here, the last chance for the bulls to really push higher here before we see much lower prices, because this wave A could be it could be the end of the correction. Yeah, so in an ABC the possibility is to do something like a truncation, which is basically means that the wave C comes down to the level of the previous wave A, yeah, to the beginning of the wave B is that on the other hand, but basically to the previous low. And this is what it's doing here at the moment. That's why we see so much support here. I did mention that level before, that this is the last chance for the bulls to push higher here, but to be fair, we're not seeing a very strong reaction by the buyers. And I think in my last Chainlink video we had actually not reached that level yet, but now we have reached it. So theoretically the correction could be over because we have touched the wave A, but it would be much better also for the structure and for new all-time highs to break this point and to go lower and see a wave C, and to hit here one of these Fibonacci levels, either the $6 level at the 0.887 Fib level or the $11.50 level at the 0.786 Fib level. And yeah, I think we're gonna get there. We don't really see in any way here any counter reaction. It's pretty much looking like VeChain at the moment, really very weak at the moment. There isn't a lot happening, and I would expect further price drops. It's really interesting to see that we broke this ascending trend line. Oftentimes trend lines yeah, can give a false feeling of security, I would say, and even I was doubting it, when even though I had quite a bearish stance here on Chainlink. But we obviously see these massive touch points here on the trend line, but at some point you need to break it, otherwise you don't get your ABC corrections. And in this case, yeah, the trend line was broken. Now the message is we're sitting here at this last resort for the bulls, I would call it, where really the correction could be over, but to do that we would really now need to see a really strong start to the upside. I doubt if we will see that, in line with my expectation to what Bitcoin should be doing going forward. We're also very much oversold here on the daily RSI, so there should be a little bit of a move up at least, yeah, because otherwise you can hardly have another sell-off. We're already very low. I think there should be a bit of a move up. I personally wouldn't trade that. That would be too risky for me, really looking at what the crypto market is doing in general. And this would also be probably just a correction of this overall correction. So in terms of just a little bit of a move up before we get the final sell-off. Yeah, that is my view. Unless we can really start to see a structure on the chart that looks really bullish, I wouldn't call this correction to be over. And on the weekly RSI, we can still see that we have further room for lower prices. We have, even on the RSI, lost a trend line here. We've lost all the previous lows. So we made a lower low on the RSI on the weekly. Not a good sign for the price. Or, well, it's a sign that we will continue in line with the expectations here. And also on the MACD on the weekly, we're not seeing a recovery. Well, there was a bit of a recovery, but that's broken now as well. We're moving further down, so I would expect lower prices. And yeah, it's interesting how this is playing out. And then we see the lower low, hopefully, and from here then at the latest at $6 I would expect a turnaround. There is then also not really an alternative on the chart anymore. if you lose $6 again, then yeah, then you're not gonna. Then yeah, I mean, then we talk about a year-long bear market or something, or a several year-long bear market, or Chainlink might disappear. You know, honestly, this must be where we're turning around, but I wouldn't be concerned about that now. This is where we've talked about the price would land, and there's no sign that it won't land there. So at the moment, I think it's all going in line with expectations. So remain calm. You know, in my view, no reason to panic here at the moment, because that's what we've been talking about here for weeks. So it's looking all planned at the moment, until it doesn't. and then we talk about it. All right, hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And again, if you want to join as channel member, you can do that on my website, and you can find the link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.